So there was a VTR of Logan Paul driving a race car through the desert there in Saudi Arabia. Apparently, they got plenty of sand. And then he was driving through the streets of town and he drove into the parking lot of the arena. And then he drove it into the arena and got a big pop. The thing that made this different than Edge a few weeks ago in AEW is he wasn't coming to save a friend who was getting his ass kicked. He was making a grandiose, prickish celebrity entrance in his fancy race car that they gave him for the occasion. Do you think anybody picked up on this difference of how he looked like a big star and this was shot so well by professionals all the way from the desert through the city to the arena, and there was no glaring logic error like, weren't you supposed to be just coming down to help your friend?
I understand Logan shot it with Darby Allin at Gum Alley.
And that may be part of the difference also is even today, the layman, the person who's not that well versed in television can tell when somebody has shot shit on their own and when television professionals are doing it. And so they even do what AEW does and do it better. And they can get by with it. But that was Logan Paul's entrance for the United States title match with him and Rey Mysterio. Would you take a guess, Brian, as to what time the bell rang for match number 4 in this show?
Oh, I don't remember what time it was. No.
1 hour and 53 minutes into the telecast, match number 4. Whoever is training Logan Paul is doing a great job. And I can't give them all the credit because Logan Paul is either a natural, a huge wrestling fan, or both at the same time. And he's still green because he hadn't done this repetitively over and over in front of people. So everything is not smooth, but he's either doing or trying to do everything that he should do. He's either in the place or trying to be in the place that he should be. He's doing flips. He's doing power moves. He's doing basics of wrestling. I mean, you know, it's kind of spooky that a guy from a complete another industry, line of work, mindset, whatever, can come in and be a good enough athlete, but have a good enough eye that he can see the small things, or if he's not seeing them, but he's being told them, he is working on them harder and more successfully than the supposed professional wrestlers on AEW television that still aren't ready to get out of the indies. And it's an accomplishment. He's very, very good. Anyway, and Rey, as always, is not only the perfect guy to be in there to kind of keep things going in the right direction because of his experience, but he sells as an underdog in all of his matches because of the size difference, and that makes Logan Paul look bigger and more of a heel. And he's got Logan Paul wants to do all these moves because they're cool, as well as being able to be a money-drawing wrestler if he keeps, moving along at this pace. But I didn't mind it here as much as the thing with Ricochet because this is star versus star. And the match with Ricochet was just to do stunts. I think this was more, and this was also a title match more important because they're moving Logan Paul up, obviously, as we'll see in the finish in a second. And he couldn't be elevated by beating Ricochet. It was just a match to do cool moves and you tickle the people who like high spots. This was a money match. What'd you think of it?
I thought it was really good, and I've been a big fan of Logan Paul since he first got in there. He seems like he may be a heel in real life. CoffeeZilla.
That's what makes him good.
That's what I was going to say. CoffeeZilla has done videos about him and stuff, but like the classic guys you hear about in the old days, they were just versions of themselves, and it worked.
Yeah.
His character works. His promos work. His in-ring works. Physically, Like you said, they said he was whatever, 213. You could say 230. I'd believe it. He's tall, and I don't want to say lanky, but he's got like size to. He's got better size than most tall people. Maybe he's on the gas. I really don't know.
Well, he probably is.
But physically, he looks good in there. He gets everything down. He's really, really good. If he was doing this full time, he'd be one of the best heels. He already may be one of the best heels in the business.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Logan Paul is a modern nature boy Buddy Landell with better genetics and fewer outside the ring bad habits.
That's right. If instead of cocaine, Buddy was doing crypto scams,
yes,
they'd be just alike.
But they're naturals in the ring, both personalities and athletically.
And there are just people like that. I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but when you talk about people like Bobby Eaton or Terry Gordy, there were some people that just got it right away no matter what age they got in. They got it. Kurt Angle, they got it right away.
Yeah. But I mean, personality-wise also, because whereas Bobby and Terry were the sweetest people in the world outside the ring, Buddy and Logan Paul, you can tell, are fucking shysterish, goddamn braggadocious, egotistical. The bad side can come out. They're natural heels. They want to kick the fucking basketball away from the kid or whatever. But anyway, in the finish of this thing, one of Logan Paul's miscellaneous stooges, I guess in his periphery, comes to ringside and hands him a set of brass knucks. But Rey Mysterio shoves him and he drops the knucks to the floor. The stooge goes for him, but Escobar appears and stops the stooge, grabs the knucks, puts him down on the apron of the ring and chases the stooge out of the arena. But Logan Paul picks the knucks up behind the referee's back and nails Rey Mysterio with them. 1, 2, 3, new champion. Could this be finally the tipping point where we see what's going to go on between Escobar and Mysterio? Because something's up. And at the same time, Logan Paul is now holder of one of the more prestigious belts in the company, so he's going to be more regular, and they're going to use him at a more featured level.
Here's how it should play out. Rey Mysterio is going to get all heelish, because otherwise you can't do it, and say, why did you leave the brass knuckles on the apron? Why didn't you slide them to me? Why didn't you do something with them? You left them there, they got involved. And Escobar could say, Rey, I've talked to my attorney. Contractually, you are still the champion. This is the United States Championship. This was Saudi Arabia, not part of the United States. You are still the champion.
Boy, that's a natural segue into a spot for Stephen P. New, but this isn't the drive-thru. At newlawoffice.com, 877-50-STEVE. But you may be right there. There may be a loophole. He may be the Saudi Arabian champion.
If anything happened with Rey or Escobar coming out of that, how does it make Rey look good? If he would, right? He can't be mad about, what's he going to be mad about exactly? The knucks being left there?
Well, I've got to be honest. I think at first I was thinking that they were trying to anoint a new babyface Hispanic hero in Escobar by having him validated by Rey Mysterio. But the more that I see of this, something's going to happen where Escobar stabs Rey Mysterio in the back, because they cannot make Rey a heel. But there's going to have to be some conflict. And they teased it a time or two before, I think. And then there was a time where Rey got the concussion and they had to end their match early. We don't know exactly what was going to happen there. I don't trust Escobar. Something about him don't sit right with me, Brian.
Well, remember,
something's going to go on.
Remember, before the LWO, he was a lucha suit.
That's right. And you can never trust them lucha suits.
That is still the best name you ever came up with, because it actually works. Like, that'd be a great tag team name, the Lucha Suits.
Well, and the Street Profits are trying to take a copyright infringement there, now that they've dressed up. Nevertheless, moving on, I know you're going to have a bunch of comments about the next match that came up for the Women's Championship. One of them, Bianca Belair against Io Sky. Brian, give me your thoughts on this contest.
My thoughts are that I really enjoyed the last time they wrestled. I think Io's really good. I think Bianca's really good. And there was just the Bailey bunch beatdown backstage. There were other B's in there, and I'm forgetting them now. But to be honest and to be fair to the ladies, I was planning on returning to this match. I had a lot of editing and stuff.
You were going to come back. You were washing your hair.
Because I didn't want to half watch it in and out. I had to really sit down.
You'd rather not watch it at all.
No, I'd rather give it time so I can actually see what's happening and appreciate it from the level of appreciation that I'm sure these women want their work to be evaluated from.
And appreciated by.
Yes. Right.
So you're going to, next week on the program, you'll have gone back and had time then to watch it.
Unless it's a really busy week and we just don't have time to talk about it on the show, things, animals dying and cobras.
Sometimes things come up.
That's right.
Well, Kairi Sane returned and helped Io Sky win. They beat Bianca Belair, and Kairi Sane is even more microscopic and minute and amoebic in size than Io Sky is. She's a very slight girl. So then we got to...
Kairi Sane was something that Carrie Silkin's accountants never called him.
Kairi Sane, question mark?